Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Vanessa. I'm going to be moderating, but we have our second session here with Blanca de la Rosa, and she has such amazing guidance, tips, inspirational messages for us today. And I hope you're just as enthusiastic about it as I am. So thank you, Sir National, for doing these sessions. Blanca de la Rosa, welcome. I'm going to introduce you and your bio, let you know who will be speaking to us today. Blanca de la Rosa was born in the Dominican Republic. She grew up in the projects of the Upper West Side of Manhattan in New York during a time before the Hispanic population was even developed there like it is today. So although she struggled without support in her cultural and linguistic transition, coming into this country at such a young age without speaking the language, De La Rosa was able to graduate from Pace University with a bachelor's degree in international business management and to establish a successful 34-year career rising through the ranks of ExxonMobil Oil Corporation. Amazing accomplishments for an immigrant, and what an amazing Hispanic representation of us here in the United States. During her career, she held numerous positions, both domestic and international in nature, with increasing responsibility. And these assignments took her around the United States, Europe, Central and South America, and Nigeria. Amazing experience. De La Rosa retired from ExxonMobil after 34 years of service. I can only imagine what you can share with us today. As a business development manager and president of the company's employee resource group, she often represented her company as lead presenter at the regional and national scholarship awards hosted by the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. In addition, she represented her company as a host, keynote speaker, and panelist of various events with organizations supported by the company's charity foundation. So after all her time in the industry, she says her most rewarding role was serving as mentor to the young employees in her company, guiding them through the corporate maze. So she says, I've often wondered what my life would have been like if we had not immigrated to the United States. When I visited this beautiful yet impoverished island of the Dominican Republic and see the need and want in the eyes of some of the people, I think that could have been me. So I feel incredibly blessed, she says, and grateful for everything that I have been able to obtain and accomplish. It is with great honor we introduce to you Blanca de la Rosa. Welcome.
Thank you, Vanessa, for that introduction, and welcome to all of the participants, and thank you for joining this session. We are going to discuss the importance and value of defining your personal brand and how to use your personal brand in your job search, weaving it into your resume, your cover letters, and your interviews. You know, the digital revolution has changed the way we work. I mean, last year was just an amazing change for everybody. And technology is here to stay, and we have to accept that. And it is very important that we keep up with and stay abreast with our changing environment. However, nothing is as important as your personal brand. For a product to succeed, it needs great brand reputation. And for you to succeed in getting the job you want, you need the same thing. So in a competitive job market, it's important that you stand out, and your personal brand is what will help you do that. It's an integral part of your ability to self-promote to employers. But before we discuss the personal brand, I want to discuss personal empowerment and self-confidence, as they are an integral part that will help you, that are going to help you in marketing your brand. All right, so what is personal empowerment? You know, a lot of people talk about empowerment and throw the term around, but personal empowerment is a collection of beliefs, actions, and skills, all working together to help you live a life that you design. And it begins with three things. It begins with self-awareness, positive mindset, and follow through. And you need to know, when I say self-awareness, I mean, you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and it is important to have a realistic view of yourself. However, the awareness that is required goes beyond your skills and abilities. It is also includes your values and your goals. And to be empowered, you have to know what you want for your life and why. Having a positive mindset and a belief in yourself, it's not enough to want to achieve a goal. You have to know deep down inside that you are capable of achieving that goal. If you don't, you won't. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And follow through. It is important that you be ready, willing, and able to go after what you want. You can set goals, plans, and learn for years. However, if you don't actually follow through and take action, nothing is going to happen. So why does it matter, personal empowerment? Well, it's really very simple. You can live your life or your life will live you. So take control of your life and your life will be what you imagined it would and could be. However, if you let your life live you, you'll continue to be a victim of circumstances and continue to live a life that isn't aligned with your goals. So, are you in control? I mean, is your life what you imagined it would or could be? Or has life gotten in the way of your goals? But did you know that nothing changes unless you change it? If you want to live the life you imagine that you could live, should live, or want to live, you have to be the one in control. It's not always easy, it's easier said than done. But if you don't feel empowered to direct and control your life, it can get away from you. And then this is where you get into your life is living you. You are no longer in control. So no matter what you are seeking, more wealth, less weight, a happier marriage, a better job, it can only happen if you do something about it. So do something about it. The point is that nothing changes unless something changes. And if you want something to be better, it's up to you to take the necessary steps to see that it happens, right? It is important to be ready, willing, and able to go after what you want. So I want to talk a little bit about self-confidence because I think this is also another important factor that will help you in marketing your personal brand. And self-confidence is a belief in oneself, in one's ability, in one's judgment. It is freedom from doubt. When you believe you can change things or make a difference in a situation, you are much more likely to succeed. Again, it's that self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. And you are better prepared to tackle everyday challenges and recover from setbacks. Believing in your abilities leads to a greater degree of optimism and life satisfaction. Some people appear to be born with self-confidence, but most of us have to work at it. Like self-confidence can be developed and it can be nourished, but getting it right is a matter of striking that perfect balance between overconfidence and underconfidence. So but there are two things that you can do that will give you an immediate edge and increase your confidence level. So one is adopting professional attire and focusing on your body language. Whenever you're dressed for the occasion, no matter what the occasion is, you feel good about yourself. It gives you confidence. You sit up and walk, you're looking good, so you strut your stuff, right? So dress for the occasion because your personal appearance and dressing appropriately for an event, no matter what that event is, whether it's the office or cocktail party, and if you don't know what to wear, ask somebody. Don't be afraid to ask. It's better to ask and get it right. Because you only get one chance to make a great first impression. So don't blow it by ignoring your personal appearance. Very, very important. And you'd be surprised how it'll boost your self-confidence. The other one is body language. And body language is one thing that most of us don't really think about. But it's one of the most important things you can do to develop a more confident you. And it's to focus on your body language as it matters more than most people think. So did you know that body language makes up between 60 to 90% of your daily responses? whether you are aware of it or not, when you interact with others, you are giving off cues, your body language, whether you're slumped, you're sitting up straight, you're walking fast, you're walking slow. Every move you make sends a signal. I can, wave of a hand. I can say, okay, you get out of here. I don't have to say a word. I can roll my eyes. I don't have to say anything. My body language and my facial expressions, speaks for me. So think about it. Are you, is your walk slow, tired, or energetic? Because confident people walk quickly, they have places to go, people to see, work to do. And it enforces and influences others. So sit up straight, people with slumped shoulders and lethargic movements, tend to display a lack of confidence. And when a conflict arises between your words and your body language is going to work and it's going to take precedence all the time. So body language always goes over because I can roll my eyes. You ask me a question, I roll my eyes, and I say, oh yeah, sure. But I rolled my eyes, right? So no, yeah, you don't believe me, right? So your body language rules every single time. And it's what you don't say many times that counts. And, your body language can make you feel adequate, inadequate, confident, or not confident. And when you feel inadequate and useless, you sometimes start to attract circumstances and relationships and situations that affirm that belief. So your body language will confirm your thoughts, and others will perceive your vulnerability and feel like they can treat you less than. So have faith in your skills, in your abilities, sit up straight, shoulders back, head up high, and really focus on your body language and what you are telling people. So what are the benefits of self-confidence? So, being self-confident can positively impact your personal and professional relationships. Definitely your career. And more confident you will perform better as you focus on the task at hand instead of worrying about you're not good enough. Think about that. I want to repeat that because a lot of times we really don't think about that. A lot of times we spend so much time thinking about what others think. How do I look? How did I sound? We work up this whole thing in our head, and it's really a waste of time. But if you are more confident, you'll just focus on the task at hand instead of worrying about, am I good enough type of thing. Having self-confidence and believing in yourself boosts your self-esteem, and it can lead to healthier relationships as it gives you the strength to walk away from bad relationships. And I think this is really a big one because a lot of times we stay in bad relationships because we don't feel confident, because we think we can't make it on our own, we can't do it on our own, we really rely on this person. But if you just step back and believe in yourself, have the confidence to believe in yourself and your abilities and your ability to do things, then you can have the courage and the strength that you need to walk away from a bad relationship. And that could mean a bad job, with a bad manager. Sometimes it's better to just walk away. Self-confidence gives you the courage to step up and proactively apply for that promotion, volunteer to lead a team, or start your own business. Self-confidence is one of the key ingredients required for a successful career. So be presumptuous enough to believe that you are just as good as smart as, or better than those around you, and that you have a significant contribution to make. So do not talk yourself out of greatness, because Lord knows there are a lot of people around you already trying to do that. So don't add to the pack. Believe in yourself, believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those that you set upon yourself. So be confident, stand up for yourself. So now we get to personal brand. And we want to talk about why it matters and your personal brand. I like to say that, your personal brand is your personal story. It's your skills, your strengths, it's that essence, your inherent essence that you bring to the table. It's that energy, your drive, your life experiences, values, ideas, and beliefs. It's a unique personality traits and mannerisms that you have, and only you have, because you are unique. And there's absolutely no one in this world that is exactly like you, because everything put together is what you bring to the table, your personal story, your personal brand. So why does it matter? Personal brand, it builds trust. So self-branding, it instills trust and credibility in your knowledge and your abilities. So companies will know that you are an excellent team member. It highlights your strengths. Your personal brand highlights all of those strengths that you uniquely bring with your unique blend to the table. So when you cultivate it well, your personal brand will signal to employers whether or not you'll be the right person for an open position. Personal brand refers to those aspects of your personality that distinguish you from other professionals in the marketplace. So when a hiring manager has to choose between you and another quality candidate with similar qualifications, your brand will stand up, will make you stand out because you have established a reputation. Your reputation comes with your personal story. So it showcases your unique attributes. So think of this, think of your personal brand as an online portfolio about yourself, as it allows more people to get to know who you are and how you bring value. Your personal brand can help you stand out from the crowd. So use it to sell your skills and get the attention you deserve from employers. Excuse me. So we talk about developing a personal brand statement, but I am here to tell you that I am old enough to remember when this used to be called elevator pitch. And why did they call it elevator pitch? Because you had to get your point across by the time the elevator got to the next stop. But because we're in the 21st century, we're going to call it personal brand statement, aka elevator pitch. So your resume and your job application can be, and your impressive online presence, will get you in the door. But your personal brand statement will demonstrate to recruiters how you stand out from the rest, and more importantly, how you can bring value to their organization. That developing a personal brand might sound challenging, but there are steps you can take to create an authentic statement. So the first thing that we want to talk about is identify your unique skills, strengths, and expertise, because you are in control of this personal brand, and perception is reality. So how people perceive you because of the messages you're giving, either through your brand, your body language, that becomes a reality. So you really need to step back and think about it. So identify your unique and transferable skills and strengths. And when I talk about transferable skills, I'm talking about those skills that you have to use in any job, whether it's knowing how to use, depending on your industry, whether you have to know how to use Word, Excel, or etiquette, or teamwork, or, you have it, whatever skills are required in your industry. So find one or two things that you believe you do really well and include that and try to weave it into your personal brand. And if you're having trouble, ask friends, families, or coworkers to help you. Ask them what they think of, what they think your strongest skills are, and what they think of when they think of you. When people saw me, they knew I worked for ExxonMobil. Now they know that I'm an author. So those are two things that sort of identify me. And in your personal brand, you also want to include the benefit of your expertise. So how can you help the company that you are applying for? So your personal brand needs to say, hey, this is how I bring value. This is what I do. Now be honest, don't exaggerate, don't lie. It's not worth it. So don't embellish your expertise, stick to the facts. And it's very important that you identify your target audience. I mean, so who do you want to reach? So tailor your brand statement to your audience. Is it a specific company, a recruiter, a specific job you want? So really step back and think about who you want to reach with this message. So once you've drafted your statement, share it with others and get their feedback. See if they agree with you. Your statement should be concise, positive, and most of all, confident. So no matter your skill level and work experience, delivering your statement with confidence and poise, will make you stand out from other candidates. So once you've done your statement, practice it and see how it sounds. Practice it with others and see if you need to tweak it a little bit. But most of all, make it simple, easy to understand. Do not put a whole bunch of jargons and acronyms, and don't try to be cute. Don't try to be too smart. The simpler you make it, the easier it'll be to understand and the easier it'll be for you to remember. And remember, it's an elevator pitch. Make it concise. Make sure that you can say it before the elevator gets to the next floor. I put some sample statements here just for your, background. This first one is mine. Dedicated author on a journey to inspire others through my words. Simple, right? So, you can tell I'm an author. I write, I speak through my words, whether they're written or verbal. And these other three I got off, research. So here's another one. I help people create new opportunities in their businesses and careers. I am a personal trainer specializing on weight training and mobility. Wow, that one is really, you can even visualize that one, right? I give authors visibility on untapped promotional platforms to share their work. All of these very simple, one line, but they say so much. You can read a lot between those words. So one of the things I want to talk about is this network, which is very important because it goes hand in hand with your personal brand. So, networking is proactively taking charge of your career, building professional relationships, contacts, getting them to know you, you get to know them, they get to know about you. And this helps you because it will instill a sense of a reputation. People will get to know your brand. People will get to know you and they say, oh yeah, I know I can call so-and-so because so-and-so does this. A job comes up, they think about so-and-so because they got to know you through networking. And if you are serious about your career, you have to learn how to network. You have to get out there, meet people. And these people have networks of their own that you can tap into to help you reach your career goals. So get to know people, most importantly, so people could get to know you. Okay, so it's not so much about getting to know people, so people can know you and who you are and your brand. So networking takes time and effort, but it's well worth the benefits that you can derive. So, create a solid network. Creating a solid network requires that you make connections. It's not enough to meet people. You need to meet the right people. The people in the industry, people that can help you get a job, people that can help you further your career. And this requires that you search for connections carefully. Solid network, it'll position you for success. And this one is my favorite, be your own campaign manager. So now that you have your brand statement prepared, network so people can know who you are. Be your own campaign manager and promote your most marketable and transferable skills, experiences, and expertise. You are in the best position to do so. If not you, then who? Who else knows what you bring to the table but you? So you be the campaign manager for this product called you. And toot your own horn. This is not bragging, it's marketing this product called you. Because not only is it essential for you to get to know people, but people need to get to know you and your brand. So toot your horn. Don't matter what people have to say, you just keep tooting that horn. And develop an internal network. If you are currently employed, do not underestimate a network, because a lot of people think, okay, I already have a job, I don't need to get to know anybody. No, develop an internal network helps you get that next position, helps you position yourself to that next plateau in your job, because you get to know, you get to go to social events, you get to meet people, you get to mingle with managers, you get to mingle with people from other departments. And, when you talk to people, you can be privy to information that sitting behind your desk, head burying paperwork, you won't get to know. because you're not out there. So when you get out there and you talk to people, you find out what's going on outside of your small circle. So it's very important to develop that internal network. You can also develop an external network, and that's depending on what industry you're in. Most industries have industry functions. So try to, go to some of those, try to develop an external network, because you never know when you're going to have to look for another job. You never know when you're going to need a recommendation. You never know when you're going to need something from somebody else. And developing that external network will help you do that. And networking can be used to help you position yourself in your industry. People will contact you once you build that reputation as a reliable expert. Your reputation will develop as people in your network share your strength as well as your brand with others. And this one is really important, especially in today's environment. It is very important that you develop an online network. It's important to take control of your online presence and regularly check it to make sure that the content is clean and professional. Ensure that your content on your social media aligns with your qualification and demonstrates your professionalism. Make sure that there's no conflict between what your online profile says and your brand statement says. So, you don't have to become a slave to social media, but you should consider account on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or other relevant media for your industry. Many employers use social media to screen candidates, and it's clear that building a strong professional online presence is a key part of the modern day job search. Social media is used as a recruiting tool in gaining significant popularity. So, for example, LinkedIn matches professionals with available jobs. A lot of companies have pages on LinkedIn that they use to recruit. So think about developing an online network. And it's also an alternative to networking in person. It's not the same, but sometimes you can get the same bang for your bucks. Another thing I'm going to encourage you to do, and we already talked a little bit about this, but I want to talk a little bit more about it. So it's adopt a professional attire. It's another way to distinguish yourself and to stand out is to ensure that you adopt that professional appearance. There are no written dress code standards within most organizations. However, and this is the tricky part, there are unwritten expectations. So although they're not telling you how to dress, they expect you to dress professionally. So ensure that you adopt a professional appearance. Anyone who aspires to progress within their work environment needs to understand the importance of personal appearance. And, women have many wardrobe alternatives and combinations and accessories and others scrutinize their attire more than men. Men put on they pick a tie, a suit. A man can wear the same suit every day. Nobody will notice, Let a woman try that and wear the same outfit 2 days in a row. Immediately, everybody will notice that that's the same outfit she had on yesterday. Because for whatever reason, we are scrutinized a lot more than men. So it can be much easier for women to cross the line from professional to unprofessional attire. So the decisions you make on your work attire can adversely affect your career. So in my experience, management and others are watching, they are paying attention to your appearance, and the way you dress can significantly impact your chances of getting that next promotion. Because think of it this way. So let's say it's a high visibility job and you do not dress professionally. Well, they can't trust that they can put you in this job and then you can represent the company because the way they've seen you when you're not on display, if you say, and display is not the right word, but when you're not out front representing the company, then how can we trust that you're going to represent the company with your appearance? So it is very, very important. And now you don't have to spend a lot of money to dress professionally. If you're in an office environment, you can start off with 2 professional suits and other accessories, and you can mix and match the suits, and then start building your wardrobe as you go along. But if you look and behave like a highly trained and well-groomed professional, you will give yourself that competitive edge that may increase your chances when competing for that next promotion. So is it fair to judge a person, person's qualifications by what they wear? No, it isn't. But most of us judge people by their appearance, and we do. It's a bias we have. We all do it. There's a time and place for everything, and you need to ensure that you dress properly for your work environment. And as campaign manager for your career, marketing that product for you, ensure that you dress appropriately, as you never know who is going to judge you by your attire. All right, campaign manager, get to work. The other thing you need to do is identify a niche. And what do we mean by that? A niche is an activity or expertise for which a person is best suited or best known for. In the workplace, this can be a job that you may be good at, or a service you can make available to your clients, or whatever it is that your industry is. It can be an activity or talent that is innate and aligns with your personality and unique to you. So by identifying your niche, you can focus your time and efforts on certain career and particular market to target. So once you know what you're good at, what you want, what comes natural to you, you can focus your energy on going after a job in that area. I know that I've always liked to write, and I knew I wanted to write, but I had a family to raise and I had to make money, and writing doesn't make money. So I couldn't do it then, but I do it now that I'm retired. But that's a niche I have. So I like to write, and that's what I do. So you can then focus on your efforts on that certain career, whatever it is you want. And it helps you stand out as a job candidate. Secures work with ideal clients and specifies your focus and talents. So whether you want to start your own business or move to a new company, you need to identify your niche. You need to be specific about what distinguishes you from the competition, as it will help you create and develop a plan for your business career. And one of the first steps that you have to do in building your personal brand is to identify your niche. So ask yourself the following question. So what are your skills and strengths? What credentials can you present to support your brand statement? What is your passion? What do people compliment you? And what types of projects have you worked on? What type of projects excite you? What is your passion? So if you identify all of that, it makes it much easier for you to then say, okay, this is the path I want to walk. So your brand statement is already done, and how can we utilize that in your job search? How can we utilize that for that resume, cover letter, in-person interview, or virtual interview? Hiring managers see so many applications that standing out is essential. Having a personal brand is fundamental part of developing your career, especially in today's environment. So focus on developing your personal brand to position yourself above the rest. Your personal brand is everything that comprises you. By developing your personal brand, you become a more memorable candidate and show others that you mean business. You can use your personal brand in all phases of your job search, including networking. How you present yourself in your resume and cover letters and interviews. So when you build a personal brand, you are actually just filling in the gaps on your resume and application materials to give people a well-rounded, better picture of what you represent. In other words, your resume has those hard skills, it has the facts, but your personal brand then fills in that gap and it says, okay, well, how do I bring this all together? So your resume contains those hard skills, that work experience and education, but your personal brand gives hiring managers a comprehensive, well-rounded look at you as a candidate. So your brand statement in your resume. Your brand statement should be listed between the contact and experience section of your resume. And what I've done is I just took a snapshot of the top of the resume. So you have Benjamin applicant, Then this is his brand statement here, development coordinator, and it reads, and then you have your professional experience. So you put it right up there between your name and contact information and your professional experience. So it is the first thing that the manager or whoever's looking at your resume will see. And again, I just listed the sample statements here. So this sample statement, if this was me, it would say Blanca de la Rosa, I have my contact information, and I would put in there dedicated author on a journey to inspire others through my words. And then I would talk about my professional experience and why, as an author, and how have I inspired people, how have my words made a difference? Okay, so you get the picture. So, and then this is still continuing on your resume. Compare your online profile with your brand statement. This is very, very important. You have to make sure that there are no conflicts or inconsistencies. Very important because 99.9% of employers are looking at online profiles, and many have not given somebody a job because of their online profile, because of the conflict. So make sure, and I know I've said this more than once, and I'm probably going to say it again, make sure that there are no conflicts and that your content is clean. So show concrete examples and accomplishment that support your personal brand statement. So if you have a skill that you think is vital to your brand, you can show you possess that skill through listing any relevant projects and accomplishments you successfully worked on in the past. So it's in your resume, it alludes to in your brand statement, and then it circles back to your online profile and your resume. And again, include any skills that are applicable to the job and what we're calling those transferable skills, especially if you're looking to change your brand or career. If you're changing career path to something your work history does not reflect, then your resume should reflect those transferable skills, so emphasize it. This applies whether you're looking to do the same kind of work in a different industry or if you want to overhaul your career altogether. Every experience is a learning opportunity, and communicating that you've learned and you know how to apply it in that position takes you a lot further than not including it. So transferable skills, very important. If you're moving on to something new and you don't have the job experience, talk about those skills that you have that will help you in that job, even though you have not done the job before. So what about the cover letter? A lot of people forgo cover letters, they ignore them, but cover letters are very important. And because a lot of people say, okay, I've got a resume, I don't need a cover letter, but it's just as important and effective in getting you noticed by recruiters. And it's not only a way to expand your experience, but to showcase your unique selling points, your personal brand. Resumes with cover letters tend to do much better. So your cover letter should also include somewhere within your brand statement. And just like your resume, your cover letter needs to be tailored specifically for the job you are seeking. This may mean that at times you may have to limit your brand statement's focus, only including those traits and skills that match the job description. You should also explain why you're the best among all of the candidates who may have similar qualifications. So there are 3 ways to showcase your personal brand. You first have to understand that cover letters are about how you can be an asset to the employer. So you are really selling yourself and you're really telling them, yeah, you know what, this is why you need to hire me. And this is why cover letters are so much more important. Well, no, they're as important as a resume, because again, your resume will list your skills, but your cover letter is what sells you. Your cover letter says, hey, those skills I listed, let me tell you why they're important. So showcase your brand in a way that matches exactly what your employer is looking for. So open your cover letter creatively. So when you, on your first line, say something about the company. Say how or why you got interested in this company and this particular job. Show them that you've done your homework. Show them that you know what this company is about and why you want to work for the company. Because you want to work for them, they want to hire you, but let's convince them. So be specific, choose a couple of accomplishments, competencies, experiences from your resume and expand on them, because your resume only gives you so much space. There's, rule of thumb, your resume should be one page. Sometimes you feel like you can't include everything, but this is where your cover letter comes in. So take a couple of things that you think are really important, you really want this employer to know, and expand on them. It's not duplicative, it's just giving them more information. And this next one is so important. Use words and phrases from the job description to support your brand statement and your letter. So have the job description in front of you, read it, and then do your cover letter and make sure that you include at least 3 things from that job description, because it's so important, because you're telling the employer, hey, I know you're looking for X, Y, and Z, and hey, this is how I know how to do X, Y, and Z, and this is my experience with X, Y, and Z. So let them know that you are the best person for this job. And then finally, have a confident closing. Be positive. Use positive words about yourself. Don't downplay it. Toot your own horn. Remember, you have to toot your own horn because nobody else is going to toot it for you. And do not use words like I think, I believe. Instead, say, I know, I'm confident that. So let them know that you know you can do this job. And let them know. So don't say, I think I could do this. No, I believe so. No, you don't believe, you know, and you're confident that you can. And we know you're going to get this job. So remember, resumes with cover letters tend to be much more successful. So this is a conundrum. Here we have interviews, right? So before, life was so much easier, everybody went in person, right? And it's so easy, right? And we had nerves and everything, but now we've got interviews in person and we have virtual interviews. But anyway, but regardless of whether it's in person or virtual, prepare beforehand. So when you go in there, have a cover letter, your resume, your reference documents, a business card if you have one. And depending on your field and your industry, you may need to have a portfolio of your work. So go prepared. So if anything comes up, you can say, oh yeah, no, here it is, okay? So have everything on hand. Also, plan talking points. Write down your talking points. So write down why you are the best candidate for this job and include words from that job description. Remember, read it, know it. In fact, print it, have it in front of you. They're not going to know you're looking at it. You take a glance at it and you see what the words are. And speak positively about yourself and take pride in all of those accomplishments you have. Ask questions, research the company, show the interviewer that you have done your homework and you are interested and you really want this job. So, because this is the thing about asking questions. A lot of us go into interviews saying, oh my God, I hope they hire me. No, you know what? You're interviewing them too. They're going to get this great person called you. This great product called you is coming to them. So let's make sure that you want to work for them, right? So you ask the questions too. And then the questions you ask will sort of give them an idea of where you're coming from. So be confident. It's not, yes, I know we get nervous. I understand that. I mean, I've been there. We stumble. But ask questions because it is very important for you to know what you're getting yourself into. And if you don't ask questions, this may not be the right job for you. So you may get the job and then, oh, wow, that's not really what I wanted. Okay, because you didn't ask any questions. So do your homework and ask the questions. Write them all down. Remember, plan those talking points. And again, focus on your body language. Sit up straight, make eye contact, beware of that body language. Don't slump, stay alert. Get a good night's sleep. Make sure that you are alert and ready for this interview. And the last thing, and I know we've said it again, and I'm probably going to say it one more time again, dress professionally. I don't care if it's in person, virtual. It is so important that you research whether this company environment is a business casual, formal, so you can dress appropriately. Do not go in, wearing this stuffy business suit when everybody is dressed casual, or you dress casual and everybody is dressed up. So make sure you research, call somebody, call the receptionist and ask somebody if you don't know. All right. Now, virtual interviews, everything we just talked about all goes for a virtual interview. Everything we just said is the same thing. However, virtual interviews are just a little bit more complicated because you have to prepare a little more than in person. Download the app, whether it's Zoom, WebEx, Teams, or other, download and get familiar with the app that's going to be used for the interview, because each of these apps have their particular quirks. And, you don't want to be stuck at the last minute and miss your interview or be late getting on. Test the app a few days before, and then again 30 to 40 minutes before your interview. Test it and make sure that you can get on. Your Wi-Fi is solid. If you don't have solid Wi-Fi, go someplace that does have solid Wi-Fi and take the call from there. I recommend that you forego any virtual backgrounds. And let me tell you why, because some of these virtual backgrounds, the technology is not 100%. Sometimes these virtual backgrounds, they disappear. And then you're stuck with a pile of dirty laundry behind you or something that's embarrassing that you don't want people to see. But if you designate a focused space for your call, position yourself in a neutral, quiet place in your home, preferably a plain wall behind you so that the interviewer is not distracted by your background. Doesn't matter, because we all see, now with everything being virtual, what I look at when I'm listening to the news and people are virtual, I look at their houses, wow, that's a nice house. Well, look at this, look at that. I'm not listening to what they're saying. I'm looking at their background. So try to not distract the interviewer with your background. So if you get nervous by the camera, ignore the camera. Behave as you would if you were in person. Make believe that you are talking one-on-one with somebody. Don't even think about the camera, just forget about it. And again, I'm going to say this again, and I've said it before, body language. Focus on your body language, especially your facial expressions. I had a session the other day, and a young woman was saying that her friend was having these interviews and she wasn't getting the job. And until she realized it was her facial expression. So every time they brought something up, her facial expression said something different and she wouldn't get the job. So, but now that she recognized that it's a facial expression, she's making it a point to control her facial expressions. I know sometimes that's hard, it comes natural to us, but we have to try to control it. And again, dress professionally, ladies, gentlemen. Online or in person requires the same amount of preparation in your appearance. Do not blow it. Do not blow that first impression, because you can make a great first impression. So don't blow it by not taking focus on your personal appearance. And now this is a personal brand wrap up. Building a personal brand can help open the door to new opportunities for you. And when you highlight your strengths and you build trust and in your audience, so regardless of the position you're applying for, highlighting your personal brand on everything from your cover letter to your online profile is crucial to make yourself and your brand stand out. Your brand is your essence, that unique energy you bring to everything you do, from the mundane to the most important initiative. It is your personal story, which depicts those aspects of your personality that distinguish you from others and instills trust and credibility in your knowledge and your abilities. And you are in control of this personal brand, and perception is reality. Define and refine your personal brand so that you can enhance your marketability, differentiate yourself, and stand out from the competition. Your personal brand distinguishes you, it highlights your unique skills and strengths, and the company that eventually hires you will do so because someone saw something remarkable in you. They saw your potential. You may have exhibited some unique quality that attracted them to hire you. Your individuality will get you hired, so leverage your personal style, values, and talents And don't be shy about self-promoting. And remember, toot your own horn. You know, the specific job you will be asked to perform is most likely not a new position. There may have been some upgrades, some innovation along the way, and others may have done the job before you. But here's what is going to be new. This is the first time that it will be done by you with your unique flair and personal attributes. So personal branding is the act of using your personal attributes to promote your unique combination of skills, experience, and personality. What you want the world to see. It is how you tell your personal story. So I urge you to differentiate yourself because you are an individual and there is no one else exactly like you. Your personal attributes are the things that distinguish and set you apart from your competition. Toot your own horn, leverage your personal style, values, and talents, and don't be shy about promoting them. This is not bragging, this is promoting this product called you. As campaign manager for this campaign, for this product called you. So define yourself. If you don't, someone else will. Take what you have to offer and make it work for you. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us today.
Great guidance and tools, these tools that we should put to practice. And I know it'll take us to success like it did for you. So thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, right now will be the perfect time to ask Blanca de la Rosa. So you have a few more minutes with her. Take advantage, use this knowledge, and apply it in your life. Right now, I wanted to start off by saying one of the first points that you made were about self-confidence, and that, you know, building it is so important to gain any job in this world, right? But some people are saying, but how? What exercises can I do? I don't know where to start. I don't feel confident. So are there any tips that they can do daily? Anything that they can manage in order to gain a little bit more confidence?
Yeah, you know what, I think focusing on your body language is very, very important because, you know, this is a person I mentor and she tends to walk with slumped shoulders. And I'm constantly telling her, think about it. I want to know what she's thinking about when she's slumped. So I'm always telling her, you need to stand up. You need to feel confident because you don't want people to think that they can bully you. So you need to stand up. And so focusing on your body language is very, very important to feel confident and to at least portray the confidence. You may not feel 100% confident, but it will start boosting your self-esteem. I think also reading positive books, looking at positive movies, looking at positive things that build you up. I would hang around with people that build up my self-esteem, not knock me down. I would talk to people that are going to help me feel better about myself because a lot of times our acquaintances, our family members, they put us down. They may not mean to, but they set this negative impression on us and we walk around with that negative impression. Well, I say you need to shed that. And no matter what it is, no matter who it is, whether it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your friend, you need to walk away from those people because those people are just dragging you down. So I think that staying away from negative people, reading positive things and, focusing on your body language and your attire, I think that's a first step.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, positivity all the way for the win for sure. We have here a contribution from Robert Arnold. I believe he's an employer or a formal employer. He says, whatever you do, make sure you review what you have put together. As a former employer, I would shut the interview down if I found misspellings. If one doesn't care enough to put forth the time to present their best initially, then I can reasonably expect the same work ethic with mistakes. So,
Oh, exactly. Yes. And we talked about that in our last session last week, which is, focus on the basics. The basics are, you have to proofread, have somebody else proofread it. a lot of times the resumes, they just go in the garbage because they have so many errors that nobody wants to go through them. Because if you didn't take care to present yourself, and this is the first thing I see from you, then how can I expect you to do quality work if you don't even focus on your resume? So that, yeah, they're very important. Focus on the basics, and that starts with proofreading your resume, making sure it's error-free.
Awesome. Yes, that's a very great basic tip, right? But it can get
Yeah.
us through the next step. So thank you for clarifying that. We have a question here from, let's see, what happened? Okay, I can't see that. Sent it to me privately, but it doesn't say anything. Okay, so what happens when we haven't been able to work for a long, long time due to family member medical conditions? So it says, and if I'm interested in getting a remote job, what would be the skills I need to have?
Well, I guess it depends on your, on your industry. And, there are three types of resume. You have to make sure you use the skills-based resume, especially if you've been out of the workforce for a long time. So what are your skills? Sit down and think about the work that you did before. What are all of those skills? Make sure that if you want remote work, make sure that you get training in all of these. I mean, I don't know how proficient you are in working on a lot of these programs, and make sure you're proficient on Word, Excel, using the web, doing research, because that's what a lot of these jobs do when you're working remotely. So I would say get the right training you need to be able to work remotely, and think about what skills you already have, because just because you haven't been out in the workforce doesn't mean you don't have any skills. I know you have skills, so sit down and list them. A lot of times, women who stay home with the kids, they also have skills. I mean, you have the skill of managing a home, you manage a budget, you manage the kids, you resolve conflict. You are CEO of your house, and you do so many things, and these are all transferable skills. These are things that you can do and you can list, and you don't have to say, okay, negotiated, squabbles between my kids. No, conflict resolution is the word to use, right? Because conflict resolution with your husband, conflict resolution with the kids. So think about all of the things you've done throughout the years and make a list of those.
I love that, how we can transfer, from our personal life to our professional life, and it
Yes,
totally
yeah.
applies, and we should be proud of that as well. One more question here before we go. You mentioned social media, and I think it's one of the greatest tools nowadays, because if you don't, see that person in front of you, you have possibly some eyes that can, be seeing your work or your skills. So, uh, what specific social media would you suggest out of all of them? I know you mentioned a couple.
Yeah,
Well, which
I
one?
LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn. If you're only going to do one, I will do LinkedIn because it's very professional. If you're looking for a job, you can have your professional profile, and it'll match jobs with professional. Like you'll get an email saying, "Oh, this company is looking for so and so with these skills," because you list your skills in your profile, and it'll match it, and then it'll send you an email saying, "There's a job looking for these qualifications that we know you have." So I think LinkedIn is very important. If you're marketing, if you have a small business, Facebook, you need to have a Facebook page, and then so you can promote that business in Facebook. And then Twitter, I'm a little torn on Twitter because I don't see how it gets anywhere. But anyway, Twitter is the one that I would, but the third one I would list. But if you only need one, I would say LinkedIn. If you have a small business, Facebook, or LinkedIn and Facebook, that I would recommend.
Awesome. Okay, we have one more question that just came in here, so we can hang on tight for one more. Teresa Gerardo says, age and health play a big part in the workplace nowadays, but she's been out of work for 10 plus years. What is your advice to a good resume?
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna give you one advice here. So listen, if you didn't listen to last week's session, listen to last week's session because I did talk about the three types of resumes and when you should use which. I know that we're running out of time here, so we don't have time to go over all of that. But there are 3 types of resumes, and it's very important that you use the right one. If you've been out of the job market for a long time, you need to use a skills-based resume, the one that lists all of your skills, your transferable skills, everything you know how to do, and it's just selling yourself and your personal brand. Vanessa?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Blanca de la Rosa, for joining us today. Another amazing event from Sir National. I look forward. These are all, every Thursday, but thank you for joining us for these past 2 sessions. You put your, I believe is your website there, so how they can, I think that was you, so. or no,
Yeah,
that
probably
was,
that would put it, yeah.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
can find this session as well on YouTube. It will be posted on there. And they can probably reach out to you if they have any other further questions.
Absolutely, yeah, you can reach out to me on my website. There's a contact me session.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Blanca, once again. I hope you all have a great day and success here for the next few years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.